Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's Sarah and this is Read Write Plan, where we chat about all things reading, writing, and planning. Today I wanted to take a look at my work planner. This is an Erin Condren A5 Daily Duo and I have it in the bold blooms. So if you haven't seen the Daily Duo, it is sold typically in 2 6-month books. What I usually get, the first book runs July through December, and in this book I pulled out July because I wasn't using it. And then the second book runs January through June. And so that works really well for me. The first half of the school year goes in one, the second half of the school year goes in the other. At the end of the year, I can get rid of them or I can keep them, whatever I choose to do, but I always keep the covers, and I have a big stack of covers. The other thing that I have that I use for work is just a notebook, and I mentioned this in my full lineup for 2025. I'll link that down below, but I use this Erin Condren notebook for curriculum. We've been developing and modifying our curriculum for the last couple years, so anything curriculum based goes into here. I still have room in that one, so I'll probably keep this one for at least the rest of this year, maybe even next school year. The other thing I use are the snap-in bookmarks from Erin Condren. They just go in and mark my day. They snap in nice and easy. And then every other day I have to pull this back out and move it to the next couple days. I've been using this same one for 6 months now, and it's held up really nicely. So these are probably one of my favorite little products from Erin Condren. Now I have uncoiled, moved some things around, and recoiled this planner. If you haven't done that before, the first time I did it, I was very, very nervous, but I've done it probably every year, every actually 6 months, since this is the Daily Duo and it only lasts 6 months, and it's not that terrible of a process. All you do is take some needle nose pliers, open up this bottom part here. Now, I have heard that if you wrap this in some sort of electrical tape, it stops from chewing up the metal. Because I don't pay for the colorful coils, the little bit of chewing that I get on this silver coil doesn't bother me at all, so I didn't even bother to do that. But it's a pretty simple process. I know there's lots of YouTube videos out there showing you how, so if it's something you're thinking about doing, I suggest taking the plunge and going ahead and modifying your planner to fit your life a little bit better. So again, this is my work planner. Now, I am a teacher for a cyber school, and I have been using the Erin Condren Daily Duo for probably 3 or 4 years now, and it works perfectly for me. No need to change it. So I'm just going to dig in, do a little bit of a flip through. I've already got this set up for the most part. And then I'll show you how I use a page, and then I'll show you how these things sit on my desk, because the only planners that sit on my desk are my work planners, and everything else sits in my planner bag. So let's just dive right in and flip through, and I'll show you what this looks like. So this is, again, the Erin Condren A5 Daily Duo in the bold bloom pattern. The first page is always this pretty vellum. Here I'll write my name, but the most important thing I do on this page is I write my work phone number. I don't know what it is, but I cannot remember my work phone number. I don't know if it's menopause brain or what, but I write that in there so that when I'm making a phone call to parents, if I'm going to leave my number on their voicemail, I can flip right back here to see it, and it's just easy for me. On this next page, I always put important info, phone numbers, usernames, and passwords. Yes, I do have to kind of migrate these usernames and passwords over every 6 months, but I think it's helpful because, passwords change. Some of them need updated every month or two. So they get scratched out, written below, and then every 6 months I can update them and start out fresh with the correct passwords. And then over here, I just have listed the schedule for the second half of the school year, which I can use to just flip back to really quickly if I need to look something up. I've also put these dates in the monthly calendars. So that is the overview page. And then the next page is kind of the yearly overview for 2026. This is probably something that I won't look at. Now we get into January. So I've marked out the dates that were off in January with washi tape. Some important dates have been written in. What I basically use the monthly for, I'll kind of plot out my curriculum on these monthlies as I'm going, just to make sure that everything's going to fit in. I don't use this dashboard for anything, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with some blank pages in my planner. And then you get into the dailies. And once we flip through, I'll show you on one of these pages how I use my dailies every single day. Okay, so when you get to Friday, typically you're going to see Saturday and Sunday here. I have moved Saturday and Sunday out because I'm a teacher. I don't teach on Saturdays and Sundays. So all they were doing was bulking up my planner, and so I just removed them. So Saturday and Sunday. And then the next thing you have here would have been a blank note page. So I took those out and I've moved them all to the back. So normally you have one note page here and then a little bit of a note page here before your Heritage and Awareness Observance Days. So I just took all of those from each week out and put them back here. So if we go back to the dailies, after each week, you have a weekly overview. Now, again, this is another page that I don't typically use. I did try to put my personal planning and my work planning together, and I would do my kind of personal to-do lists here, but I just found that that didn't work for me. I need my work life separate from my personal life. At the end of the day, I want to close this up, put it away, and not think about it again until morning. So these pages typically go unused, but I couldn't take them out because Monday's on the back of them. So it just continues that way, Monday through Friday, until we get to the end of the month. Depending on what day the month ends on, you might have a note page here, or you might have a note page here. But that is what those look like. So again, I've just marked off the days that I'm not working in washi tape, written some important days in, and that's all I've done so far. Okay, so let's take a look at what my typical morning setup looks like. So I'm going to do this on a page where I don't work. So for example, I don't work on the 2nd. So every single morning I take this out, I find a matching marker of some sort, and I just mark off. I work from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then I take my very favorite pens. These are my Amazon pens that I've talked about in previous videos. I'll link these things below. But then I just look at my daily calendar on Google and I write in anything I have that day. For example, I always have live lessons at 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then there's always some meetings in between. We often have a staff meeting at 8. On Mondays, we have what's called the staff huddle at noon. I may have an IEP meeting, and then I'll write the student there. If I have meetings set up with students, I'll write those in. Typically, as the day goes on, I set up meetings, and those will go in during the day. This space here and here doesn't typically get used very often, but that's okay. I still think that it's important to have my schedule in front of me so I don't forget anything. Over here, there are a couple of to-dos that I have to do every single day that I start every single day with. I have to take attendance. I have to post my recordings. And for attendance and recordings, I usually put 2 little boxes, one for my morning class, one for my afternoon class. I have to log 5 contacts each day, and I have to sync grades. So every single day I'll write those in, and then I'll write anything else that I have to do that day. Down here in this space, I typically will block off a space to write what I'm teaching that day. And then down here, I just take notes throughout the day. Like I said, we have to log at least 5 contacts a day. So I'll just be taking notes about kids that I talk to or things that we do that day in this space so that I can go back in later and log those. And that's pretty much it. That is my every single day at work in my Erin Condren A5 Daily Duo. Okay, and so the last thing I wanted to show you guys was just how those planners sit on my desk. So here's my desk. My work planners always sit over here on the corner. There's my planner and my notebook. This is a little organizer from Erin Condren. I always keep some pens and some highlighters and markers. Down here I always have my calculator, and this is the remote control to my television and the remote to my space heater, since it is Western Pennsylvania and it is cold outside. And then in the middle I always have either my planner, or if I'm working, it's my computer. And then over here, I just have some cute things. I have my little calendar over here that was given to me by someone at my planner meetup. We had our Christmas gift swap, and that was part of my Christmas gift. So that is my desk. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and come back and see me in the next one. Bye.